My ex-wife was cheating on me, and I was on the verge of killing myself because of it. Hello everyone, and welcome back to another story about Reddit cheating. Please click the subscribe button and the notification bell before we begin so you don't miss another cheating story. Good day there. I've been lurking for a long time, but I've finally chosen to share my tale about how my ex-wife cheated on me. Please be aware that this is almost a novel. Since we were both 18, I've been dating this girl for about 6 years. I went from a minimal pay pizza delivery job to a parts counter work at a dealership where I made well over $50,000 per year. While we were dating, I purchased my first home. For 2 years, I paid for the wedding out of my own cash and bought and flipped cars to make ends meet. Throughout, she continued to neglect herself on a daily basis. Well, we got married in November of 2017 and everything went smoothly, almost as if it were a storybook. However, it only lasted weeks. That's when she started to change for the better. She abruptly stated that she desired to be able to screw around with other women, that she desired a trio, and so on. I did my best to honor her intentions, but her adultery got the best of her first. She was almost proud to tell me the first time I caught her that she was messaging a man from West Virginia to make herself excited so that we could have a better night. I cried and raged at her, wondering how she could do this to me. It's worth noting that I'm barely a month into my marriage at this time. I persuaded her to take the trip to Florida that she had been hounding me about for weeks after months of attempting to regain her trust. She insisted on spending a week with her grandmother alone. I had a lot of red signals at this point, but I tucked them away because I was thinking, I'm not going to be able to trust her again unless I give her space to show me I can. This will turn out to be a major blunder. Sorry guys, I'm trying to keep this as short as possible so it doesn't turn into a novel. Anyway, she returns from Florida and we begin planning our honeymoon in Hawaii. She's gotten so enamored with her phone since she returned from Florida that I'm getting frightened again. She is constantly grinning and laughing on her phone and she carries it around with her, laying it face down and so on. We haven't had an intense night together in almost 3 months at this point. It's the month of April. We travel on our honeymoon, which consists primarily of her lying in a condo room for a week on her phone while I drive around Maui in a rental Mustang GT convertible. I had a great time, no touching or any affections together. Let's fast forward to the 18th of May, 2018. I was lying in bed with her, reading a book, when I noticed the purple devil emoji on her phone's chat screen. Something isn't quite right. You only use that emoji once. I lay back down and attempt to brush it off, trusting her, but I have to know in about 6 seconds. What was that chat, honey? I inquire. I grab her phone and return to the other chat after she shows me a different screen. My entire body was melting out via my toes as I saw it. She was maliciously texting, video chatting, and talking about some of the kinkiest nonsense I've ever seen with this guy. She belittled me in front of him, telling him I was emotionally abusive, that she was ready to leave me, and that she missed her time with him in Florida. I was shattered, heartbroken, and obliterated. She rolled over and went to sleep, shrugging it off. She awoke the next morning and spent some time with her buddies. I was in the worst mental state I could be in, and I couldn't handle it any longer. I shouldn't have been alone in the first place. I began messaging my closest friends and family members, telling them how much they meant to me and how much I cherished their love and companionship. One of my closest friends, thankfully, saw the signals and Cal led me incessantly until I responded. What did he say? Don't do anything stupid. I'm on my way to your house and you better be fine when I get there, by identifying the indicators and understanding why I was saying goodbye. That friend saved my life that day. He left his $80,000 a year work in Atlanta rush hour traffic to drive an hour to my house to check on me. I honestly could not have asked for a better friend. That day, I gave him all of my guns and told him to keep them until I was no longer a threat to myself. Fast forward once more. I'm back in counseling and therapy with my ex-wife in June 2018, and nothing seems to be changing my mind about the situation. Every day I go to work, return home, clean, and go to bed. After speaking with a number of trustworthy family members and expressing my emotions to them, I came to the conclusion that I just had one choice. I had no choice except to divorce her. I spoke with a couple lawyers, took their advice, and devised a strategy. 18th July 2018, I informed my ex-wife that we needed to talk about something when I got home, and she didn't seem to mind. At this point, I had been leading her to believe that I had forgiven her. When I returned home, I summoned her to the basement before she began preparing dinner. This isn't working and your adultery is something I can't cope with, I stated as she sat down. I'm divorcing and nothing will be able to change my mind. You are welcome to stay at the house until we find somewhere else to live, but the house was mine before our marriage, and I intend to keep it. That night quickly devolved into a nightmare, and she was forced to leave with a friend. People I knew texted me about screen photos of her Tinder, Bumble, and FetLife accounts, how many people she had abused, and so on over the following few months. She texted me, begging me to take her back, and she'd be the best wife ever, begging, pleading, and crying. She broke into my residence and pretended to commit suicide by swallowing 200 mg ibuprofen. She victimized the groomsmen of one of my best friends. I was best man. We were officially divorced a year and a day after we married, and out of the goodness of my heart, I offered her a very lovely settlement agreement, which she ended up touching me with. I bought her insurance and gave her my brand new car, which she trashed, as well as her phone bill. After the divorce, I gave her 90 days to get the automobile financed and out of my name. She tried but failed to pay off her credit cards. She also told our mutual acquaintances that she was going to wreck my car before I returned it, since she knew she wouldn't be able to keep it. So I gave her a free paid-off car that had been meticulously maintained in exchange for the new car, which I needed to sell. She turned down my offer, and on January 4, 2019, I had to repossess the car in Tampa, Florida, 30 days shy of 90 days in the middle of the night. Multiple lawyers and months later, I gave her just under $4,000 for her difficulties, which I had fought hard for in order to get her out of my life totally. I left out a few things, but I'm already on page 2, and I seriously doubt anyone has read this far into the account of my marriage disaster. On a more positive side, I've met the most lovely woman in the world who means the world to me. She's witty, attractive, intelligent, enjoys our night moment together, and pays close attention to the details in life and in a relationship. I would give anything to have her in my life. I suppose there is some good that comes from all of life's nonsense. I still can't believe she's dealt with all of the past drama for the majority of it, and she's a soldier. Here are some of the greatest responses. Damn you, bro. I'm sorry to learn that you were married to a sociopath. Just remember not to be caught off guard again. I realize this new relationship appears to be great right now, and for your sake, I hope it turns out to be everything you hope for. But please, oh, please don't wear blinders this time. In this new connection, trust and transparency are important, but you should also educate yourself on warning signs and red flags and remain watchful. Best wishes. Not to shed a negative light on your new relationship, but you aren't the best character judge. You avoid confrontation by ignoring red signs. I'd be wary about putting somebody on a pedestal so quickly, particularly if you have children. Apart from that, congratulations and best wishes. Your ex seems awful, and you're lucky you didn't have children with her. She got what she deserved, and it appears that you too have found a beautiful new loving spouse. I'm glad everything worked out in the end. Thank you for viewing, and be sure to check out our other infidelity stories videos. Please subscribe if you haven't already to get more daily Reddit cheating stories.